Hey guys, Pete here, coming to you from the Positively Pete Art Studio in Huntington, Indiana. This is a continuation in the series on pour paintings. So this is the third technique. For this one, I'm going to change up the colors a little bit, but things you're going to need, obviously, your newspaper drop cloth, the secret weapon, the nonstick aluminum foil. In this case, I have a level 3 6x6 canvas that I'm going to use. The colors are a little bit different. I love working with metallics. I think it creates some of the most striking pour paintings. So with this one, I've got old gold, I've got my silver, metallic copper, metallic black, and metallic white. So that's 5 colors in total. Now for this one, I am just going to combine the colors in one mixing cup. In the next video, you'll see you can actually separate them out and then combine them. That allows you to be more picky on which colors get the cells. For the cells, I'm going to be using this acrylic pouring oil. And for this one, I'm actually going to add a little bit of the pouring oil to each color. So this is really going to bring out a lot of cells in the painting. So I'm going to actually start with copper on the bottom. And for this, I'm just going to add directly to the cup. And I just know from personal experience, I'm just adding a little bit. So I added my copper. And you don't need a lot of drops of the pouring oil. So I'm going to do 4 drops for each color. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for copper. Next, I'm going to go with my metallic white. I'm not going to add a lot because, again, you have to be careful with white because white will wash things out if you're not careful. So I'm just adding a little bit of white. But I'm going to continue to do my 4 drops. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And next I'm going to go with my gold. And for the metallics, I want to add the most of the copper, gold, and silver because I really want to bring those metallics out. Even though the black and white are metallic in and of themselves, I really like the classic gold, copper, and silver. So I have my 4 drops there. Add my silver. And here I'm going to add a little more than I typically would because I want that silver to show up and not just give it a sheen. So 4 drops of the oil for this. Okay, and finally I'm going to add my metallic black. You also want to be careful with the black and don't overdo it because it will overtake the whole painting. So I'm just adding a little bit there. And then my 4 drops of pouring oil. And when I'm doing this, I'm making sure I get the pouring oil in the color that I've just poured. Okay, so here I have my concoction. It's about a little more than halfway full. That's all I need for a 6x6. So I'm going to do my technique of putting it on the canvas, holding it, and turning it over. Again, you should be able to hold it like this without the color coming out. So set that down there. Next, I'm going to get the paint moved around, but after that I'm going to use my torch. Again, I always feel like I have to give the safety note. Please always have a fire extinguisher handy if you're working with a torch, just in case. It is very dangerous. The flame coming out of that torch is approximately 4,000 degrees. So not something you want to touch your skin with, not something you want to actually hit the paint with. You want to be just over the surface of it. So, okay, let me resituate the camera so you can see what's going on. Okay, so I'm pulling straight up and I'm kind of twisting a little bit. That helps with the blending. I'm going to tap a little bit. And I can already see cells forming, and I haven't even used the torch yet. So remember I told you, use L's on the corners. So hold your canvas, do the L. You want to have both your index finger and your thumb firmly up against and approximately 1/4 of an inch up above the canvas. So then you're just going to move that around. Okay, and when I get to the edge, I'm letting it drop a little bit too so that it covers the sides. Okay, so there, I've got that covered. And again, the nice thing about pour painting is you can move it around until you get the shape and amount of each color that you want. So I think that's good. So now I'm going to go with my glove. And I don't need to do this too much because the paint is actually still moving. And it's going to take care of a lot of this on its own. But I just like to have the sides all colored in. So I look for any blank spaces on the sides. And I use the excess paint on my gloves then to kind of fill that in. Okay, that's good. Let me take off my gloves. So let me show you what this is like even before the torch. So this is just from the silicone oil itself. You can see there's already cells that have formed. What the torch does is it actually just brings out those cells. Again, a hairdryer will work as well. Not quite as well, but it will work. So let me move this to where you can see it a little bit better. And I apologize for the videography. I'm doing this on my own. Don't have someone else holding the camera, so. And again, be very careful with the torches. Turn that up all the way. Okay, and again, I want to go really close to the surface without touching it. You'll know you get too close because if you hear a pop and a little poop of smoke, you were too close. So you just want to go back and forth over the surface. You'll see the cells start to come out. And I really like the way this one is turning out. This has to be, I say it's a lot, but this is one of my favorites. So hopefully, if you're creating this too, you'll be just as happy with your creation. Okay. And I could do more. The more I do, the more cell definition I get. It will also kind of develop the cells on its own as it dries. So you'll get a lot more than what you see even when you finish using the torch. So this is what we have currently. So hopefully you've enjoyed this technique. Please watch the other videos, subscribe, and let others know about these. I'd love to share my experience with more people. I just love this artistic journey, and especially since I discovered pour painting, it is just so wonderful, so relaxing. So hope you have some great creations. Please feel free to send me some. I'd love to see some of your creations. You can send them to me, positivelypete46750 at gmail.com. 46750 is a Huntington, Indiana zip code to help you remember. Again, positivelypete46750 at gmail.com. I look forward to seeing what you create.